Morning driver, the train is all set to head south to Crewe. There are no reported delays at the moment. Timetable arrival into Basford Hall is 8:06. So we are in Garston Freightliner Terminal on the West Coast Main Line Missing Link, also known as Midlands and the North West. So insert the master key. Reset the AWS, headlights on. Instrument lights we won't bother with, and we should be good to go. So we have a green aspect up ahead, so I'll release the brake, and power to notch 2. So we are following along 485 uniform, the 706 service from Garston FLT to Crewe Basford Hall. So it's piloting Garston Freightliner Terminal. The speed limit is 10 miles an hour, and we have about 4 miles to our first stop, which is Ditton. Even though in the timetable we go straight to Crewe, we do make a stop in Ditton to let a passenger train pass. So on the far left is the up fast, then there's the down fast, then the up slow, and then the down slow. We should also be passing by Jaguar cars in Garston, where the car terminal is. Even though I don't have the car wagon carrier thing, so I'll just put in one of the default German wagons with tractors on it, because in this universe, Jaguar make tractors. So the first station we'll pass through is Ditton, which closed in 1994. Then all the buildings were removed in 2005. So speed limit is now 15, going up to 20, going up to 25. So put the speed set on here. No, not speed set, train length. Why did I say speed set? So gently accelerate up towards 20 miles an hour. So the route, we will go south towards Runcorn, join the West Coast Main Line at Weaver Junction, through Acton Bridge, through Winsford, through Hartford to Crewe, where we'll come off the up slow, underneath the West Coast Main Line towards Basford Hall. So we'll go underneath other freight lines. So we won't be going through Crewe Station. So we'll idle the throttle at 20 miles an hour and let the train coast until we can accelerate towards 25. The speed limit is now 25. So yeah, we are on the West Coast Main Line Missing Link, available on AlanThompsonSimulation.com. You also need to be a subscriber to the ATS website. So if you want to run this scenario for yourself, you do require the West Coast Main Line Missing Link. You require the EWS and Freightliner Class 66 version 2 available on Steam. You need the AP Class 66 Enhancement Pack from Armstrong Powerhouse. You need the Portsmouth Direct Line Waterloo to Portsmouth, available on Steam. You need the AP Class 350 Enhancement Pack. You need the RSC Class 70, available on Steam. You need the S9BL Class 390, also known as the Original 390. You need the Blue Warrior Railways Virgin Trains Class 390 Pack. You need the Just Trains Voyager Advance. You need the AP HHA Hopper from Armstrong Powerhouse. You need the RSC Class 08, the one in EWS and Freightliner. And you need the Freightliner Class 90 pack. So, it's a fair old list. So we can now accelerate up to 35. Don't know why I wasn't told about that. So one bug with the 66 is that I can't hear the high tone in the cab. I can hear it outside, but I can't hear it on the inside. And also, shouldn't this be yellow instead of the maroon colour? I think it's one of the. I think it's an oversight from AP. Same over here. That should be yellow instead of brown. Because if you look outside, the mirrors are yellow and not brown. Oh, I turned up the clag factor. There we go. Also, it says up there that we're driving 66624 and our maximum speed is 65. I think this one was. I think the 66-6 subclass is made for like heavy freight instead of like high speed freight. So there's a Jaguar siding to the right with some tractors and a 66 in deep checker red. So shortly we should stop in Ditton station, the disused station, just to wait for a passenger train to pass. So looking at our briefing, so stop at Ditton from 7:08 to 7:22, go via Crewe depot up slow, and then stop at Basford Hall junction down arrival sourcing siding. So it's a fairly straightforward run, not too difficult. So we have a double yellow, which means we need to start think about slowing down. Yeah, the brakes on this train aren't the best. So which is why I put it to 3.5 bars. So we're attempting to pass Ditton East Junction at 7:22, and it's currently 7:08. Yeah, our brakes are just bad. Oh yeah, sorry for the lag. This route is very resource intensive. There's a 66 from Ditton to Garston, just a light engine. So that's a 66, a 70 and a 66. Use a brake. Starting yellow, which means we need to stop at the next signal, as that is at danger. So in the distance you can see Ditton Station, that's been closed since 1994. And then the station buildings were demolished in 2005. Even though I think the local council is looking to reopen the station as people build more and more houses. So slow down to a brisk 10 miles an hour before we reach the station. So I think after this video, I'm recording this video on the Wednesday, and this one should go out on the Thursday. So by Thursday I should have it on ATS, or I'll just link a Google Drive folder. So danger aspect is in sight. So slow down to 5 miles an hour. This is Ditton Station, or what's left of it. So frame rate. About 20-30 FPS. Oh yeah, I launched this through Steam, so I have the frame rate limited to 30. And I have OBS limited to 30. So everything should be running at the same frame rate. Just apply a bit of power as we are going uphill on 1 to 140. So gently just cruising up to the danger aspect. So we should be sat here for a few minutes. So timetable departure is 7:22 after the passenger train has passed. So I think the train leaves South Parkway at 7:15 and it's now 7:13. So I'll stop here. So we now have a single yellow aspect and a route indicator of uniform, which means we are cleared onto the up fast. So we need to brake and power to notch 3. So the speed limit crossing over onto the up fast will be 20 miles an hour. I will just had a bit of rollback. Now going forwards. Come on. Pull it. So speed limit is immediately going down to 20 miles an hour. We have a double yellow. So I don't know if we should catch up to the stopping train or not. Because that 350 stops at every station to Crewe. So speed limit is now 20 miles an hour. So on the right is Ditton Freightliner Terminal. So increase the power, make sure the ammeter doesn't go into the red area. So keep the power at notch 2 as we cross over onto the up fast. Or I guess at this point it would be the up main. So line to the right goes towards Ditton Freightliner Terminal, so that one goes I think straight on as we continue climbing upwards. I should also put the train length on. So I think the speed limit increasing to it's like 90, 80. And then it goes down to 65 as we round the corner towards Runcorn. But don't touch us as it loads the next tile. Yeah, I've also had to tweak with the graphics settings a little. So I just had to put the scenery quality down a bit. But keep the density up just so you can see everything. So try and maintain our speed at 20 miles an hour. Alright, this route also makes use of Just Trains' signal library. I think it's called that. Where you got all these fancy new signals. Right? You have a 3-aspect signal using only one aspect. Like you can have red, green, and a yellow all in one space. So now that we are on the up main, the speed limit is 90 miles an hour, going down to 80, then 65. So yeah, this train does take a bit to get up to speed. Speed limit is now 80 miles an hour. So I really do enjoy this route, mainly because I live in this area, not necessarily in this area, but near to this area, and that's why I'm a bit biased against it. So unless there's a motorway that is empty, just like it should be in real life, even though the government is encouraging people to go back to work, even though there's no cure for coronavirus, which doesn't really make sense, because you just end up getting a second spike. There's a there's a 350 from Birmingham to Liverpool. So I think by now that 350 to Birmingham has already left Runcorn. So we should be greens all the way to Crewe. Here's a bridge. Here's a bridge that I forget the name of. I'll probably put it as a caption. So next station will be Runcorn. Runcorn is it's a simple station, just 2 platforms. That's it. We've also got Runcorn East on the line on the way to Chester. Yeah, sorry about the lag, it's very resource intensive. This is Runcorn Station. Yeah, it's very nicely modelled. There's a signal box on the right. It's probably disused. Probably. And now I'm driving a hairdryer. So the next point of interest will be Weaver Junction, where we join the West Coast Main Line from Wigan and Preston. So Weaver Junction timetabled at 7:33. So we should be there in about 6 minutes. So if you look at the timetables for this week, you notice that there are more trains running. But the government is still saying travel if it's only necessary, which if you're going to say that, what's the point of putting on more trains if they're just going to be empty? I guess people are saying go back to work and the train is the only option, so it kind of makes sense. So for example, over the North Wales coast, you still have the basic stopping train between Crewe and Holyhead that stops at every station operated by Transport for Wales. You also have one daily train from London Euston to Holyhead operated by Avanti. So the amount of trains is starting to pick up. For example, on this scenario, this particular day, which was yesterday, Avanti are now operating trains between Birmingham and Preston, and last week they weren't doing that. So the amount of trains on the national network are starting to increase again. I think freight is mostly just the same. I think I should have picked a train with a different subclass. One that has maximum speed of 75, not 65. And I'm like getting towards 66. So we're now doing 66 in a 66. I wonder how many stations there were down here in the past. I mean, there are quite a few houses down here. So we've got Runcorn, Halton Junction, Sutton Weaver, Weaver Junction, Acton Bridge, Hartford Junction, Hartford, Winsford, Crewe Courtyard, Crewe South, Gus Junction, Crewe SSN Signal Box, Crewe Basford Hall SSN, and Crewe Basford Hall SSM. What does SSM mean? Now doing 70 miles an hour. We'll do a flyby. Ah yes, poor frame rate, how we hate you. Yeah, it's back. So it says up there that the maximum speed is 65, so fuck that. I guess I'm being punished by a poor frame rate. So we are here, and Weaver Junction is here. So we have a clear aspect. So Weaver Junction at 8:33, so we are early. Yay! And I'm about to do like 80 miles an hour. So below us is the West Coast Main Line from Glasgow. We will be joining the Up Fast, or the Up Main. Speed limit is now 100 miles an hour, even though we can only get up to 75. So just accelerate back up to 75, just so we can get up to Crewe quicker. So this is Weaver Junction. And we've already caught up to the tucking train. So apply a little bit of brake. So the danger aspect is more than a mile away. The thing about double yellow scenarios is that it makes it more interesting, because just getting all greens is a bit boring. Slow down to 50, so I think I'll slow down to about 45. Going across a massive viaduct. Single yellow. Which means we need to stop at the next signal, as that is a danger. I think the topping train does stop at each station for a few minutes, so we will be stuck behind it. So next signal is an unknown distance away. Probably because it's so far away. So it's so far away. So we're Acton Bridge, platform 2 at 7:36. So we're on time, probably, I don't know. So just cruising at about 20 miles an hour until I can see the next signal. Oh yeah, if you're going to play this scenario yourself, you might want to turn on async keys, because you'll probably be sat in Ditton for about 10 minutes. So with async keys, you can just speed up the game by up to 5 times. So if you want to sit somewhere for 10 minutes and you use async keys in real time, you will only be sat there for 5 minutes. 2 minutes. Why can't I do maths? What is this? Where is the signal? Where is it? What's there? So the signal should be right around this corner. Can't quite see it yet. I think that's a double yellow. So I'll put the power to maximum and accelerate back up to line speed of 75. So after the signal will be Acton Bridge station. Yeah, this is an excellent station to see Pedalinos pass through at high speed. And it's green. So at Acton Bridge, the line splits into the up and down fast lines. So we will be travelling on the up fast because there's nothing else down here, travelling towards Crewe. Bit of stutter, it's to be expected. This is Acton Bridge station. I don't know why you get off here, there's nothing here. Unless there's like a village nearby. So our next station will be Hertford. Platform 1 at 7:40. So we might be running a tad late. But it's fine. It's a freight train, no one cares. Wouldn't it have made more sense to let the freight train pass in front of the stopping train? Because the freight train just passes through each station and doesn't stop. So very shortly, the line should go to double track shortly. And there should be a junction coming up here where two lines go off towards the left, towards somewhere. I think that's a traction motor cooling fan, because we've been in full power for a bit, and we're generating about 2 kiloamps. So in real life, I haven't been down here on the train. I have been to each station on this line, mainly, well, by each station I mean Stafford, Crewe, Warrington, Liverpool, Edge Hill, Wigan. That's it. So I know this route very well. I know the route in terms of each station, but not the route in terms of the ground covered between stations. Like, I've been to Crewe many times, and I love it because the thing about Crewe is that you don't know what's going to turn up, apart from the normal passenger trains. Now approaching Hertford station. Next station is Winsford. Yeah, I hope the next phase of the Missing Link is to Preston, from Wigan to Preston. So then you would have the entire West Coast Main Line and trains in. Even though you don't merge it, because I think Thomson has this end user license agreement, or EULA, that says you can't really do anything with their products. And the thing about that is that Thomson created the West Coast Main Line Trent Valley, which connects the West Coast Main Line from Rugby to Stafford. So what they're doing instead is completely recreating the Trent Valley. Even though it probably will look exactly the same, but different. So just after Winsford, we are due onto the up slope. There's a train from London to Glasgow for another Pendolino. There's a yellow, probably warning us that we're going onto the up slow line. So put the power to idle and just coast for a bit. So we have about 10 miles to Crewe. So Crewe arrival at 8:06 and the train got in at 8:06. And there's a cat on the floor that's just rolling around for no reason. It's getting yellow, which means we need to start braking. It's either the train is sat in Winsford Station, or we're just going to come off onto the slow lines after Winsford Station. I wonder if it's ever been considered just upgrading this part to 4-track. Because I'm not sure if it's a bottleneck or not. I mean, you do have the quad track near Acton Bridge. Oh, yellow. Cool. So the next signal up ahead is, I think it's in the distance. Anyway, just keep cruising at 25. What do we yellow? So we can accelerate. Let's just turn on the DVD for a bit. Wait, is it called the driver safety device or is it called the driver vigilance device? So do people say DSD or DVD? Or is it just interchangeable? So next point of interest on return trains is Crewe Courtyard. Crewe Courtyard passing at 7:56, actual pass was 7:52. And it's now 7:45. Amita just had a bit of a seizure. Coming up in the distance is Winsford Station. In the future, I definitely will do more videos of this because it is absolutely amazing. I would have continued the East Coast Main Line between Darlington and King's Cross, but to be honest, I'm not really that interested in the East Coast Main Line. It's too boring. I think I have like an affinity towards the West Coast because I kind of live on the West Coast and it's what I'm used to. Also, there's just more trains in the West Coast. So I think next time it will either be a 350 doing something, or maybe a return journey from Wigan all the way to 10-1 Dudley in a Pedalino. Or maybe a Voyager because Pedalinos hate me. So crossing onto the upsole, the speed limit is now 75 miles an hour. Okay, I guess we're not doing that. Oh, so I guess we're carrying on to the up fast. Right, why do we come off onto the saw lines? So there's the stopping train. There's where we come off. Oh, there's the junction just before we get there. I think I might have to fix that before I put it on the internet. So what we'll do is come onto the upslow, then down into like a bypass cord thing under the West Coast Main Line, then come out near the stadium. I don't remember if it's rugby or football, but they both involve spherical objects. Imagine the feeling just passing through Crewe at like 125 miles an hour. Must be so cool. I've yet to do that because last time I came down here in Pedalino, that I actually had to stop at Crewe because it was straight from Liverpool. And then just as I was about to leave Crewe, the game dumped. It's like, thanks. Yeah, I was like, thanks train sim. I wanted to go past Basford Hall to Stafford. So after that, I just loaded up the part from Stafford to Rugby, then Rugby to London Euston. So RIP section from Crewe to Stafford. But if we have this part of the West Coast Main Line, you could do like an entire run from Euston to Holyhead. Like, you could pick a train that stops in London Euston, Rugby, Stafford, Crewe, and then to Holyhead. Does the train actually stop at all those stations? Like, I think normally it just goes from, I think it's London Euston, Milton Keynes, Crewe, then normally to Holyhead. Unless you had to come up with like some sort of excuse to stop at Rugby and Stafford. So Crewe in about 4.5 miles. So we should be there in no time. So I would have put more things in Basford Hall, but then the frame rate would have tanked. So I sacrifice realism for frame rate. If not, I think on your computer, your computer might be more high end than mine, so you might have a smooth frame rate into Basford Hall. I think the speed limit going down towards Basford Hall is 10 miles an hour. So a double flashing yellow, which means we are going onto the Crewe avoider. So apply a gentle bit of brake. Actually, I think the brakes on here are a bit decent. Because it didn't take that long to slow down from like 65 to 45. I think there's also like a pair of Voyagers behind us from Preston to Birmingham, New Street. So there should be a flashing single yellow aspect. Then after that will either be, I think it's a single yellow with a feather aspect, one that's completely horizontal. So coming across onto the up slow, I don't know how fast it is. And the HUD won't tell me because I'm going too slow. I can see that it's not a danger. It's a yellow. Warning of 80 miles an hour. Wait, the trains pass through Crewe at 80? I thought it was 125. I guess 125 would cause like too much shock and stress on the pillars, and then the building would collapse. So I think it's best that it doesn't pass through at 125. So speed limit coming down to 15, then 60, then I think it's 10. So slow down to about 15 miles an hour, just very, very slowly. So we now have a single yellow, which means we need to stop at the next station. Also, why do I have that one to the horizontal one? Where am I being routed? Oh, so what does the vertical one mean? I mean horizontal. So put the power to notch 2 just so we can maintain 50 miles an hour. Even though it is a pretty steep gradient going down on the avoider. So on the right shortly should be the avoider going in the down direction, so heading northbound. So this is Crewe. A place that I've been to many times. And I've actually got the train from Manchester to London that went through Crewe. Pendrino. So I have been to Crewe on the train, and I've also been out of here between Crewe and Chester on a 150. It was horrible because the thing about the 150 is that they're that old. Traveling at 75 for long periods of time, it feels like the train is going to fall apart. Another cat. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, she just meows at everything. So now coming onto the up slow. And the speed limit is going down to 10 miles an hour as we approach the Crewe avoider. So this is the slowest part of the video. So speed limit is now 60, going down to 10 as we go to the left. hopefully the frame rate won't tank as we get towards Basford Hall, because there's literally about a million things to load. Like, you got the track, you got the scenery, you got the catenary, you've got the catenary wires, which are separate lofts, which the game has to render individually. Hopefully I won't get a out of memory dump. So going down in the Crewe avoider, we're going down in 1270, which is insanely steep for a freight train. Yeah, this is the first time driving down here. I wish the barbers would open soon. My hair is really starting to annoy me. So on the right is the West Coast Main Line. So we're going to go down and under it. So on the right is the preserved APT, or what's left of it. So I think this is my first video in the AP Class 6. I mean, this is already leaps and bounds better than the default dovetail one, because of course it is. But you got the upgraded sides, you got mirrors on the side, you have this electromotive screen. So coming out of the very long tunnel, we join the freight lines from Manchester, or Sandbach. On the right are a few car parks and houses. Yeah, this part of Crewe is very, very residential. So all you will see is houses and a few shops. There's also a very nice takeaway. On the right is the stadium. So on the left is where the replacement buses go out of. So if a bit of line was closed, the replacement buses would just leave from here. And also here, I think there's like a Virgin Trains training centre. And then there's the diesel depot. And between the viewing point and the freight lines, there's a bunch of thorns and pointed plants. So on the left is one of the diesel depots. So I just put in, I think this one just hosts like old coaches and stuff. So I just put in some old Mark III coaches in BR Blue. Hooked up in Basford Hall junction down arrival sorting sidings to complete the scenario. So let's go from left to right. We have some disused of scraps HHA hoppers because nobody uses coal. Beyond that are some MJA box hoppers that come with a Class 70. On the right are a few hoppers, a few engineering equipment. On the right, a few 66s and a few 90s. And then there's the Mark III testing coach. I have no idea when that was used. Or why it was used. Probably for testing. So what we'll do is go straight through Basford Hall to the other side. And then someone else would have shown it into position. Also, what would you do with containers in Basford Hall? There's no like lifting jacks or anything. On the right is a signal box of some description. Yeah, I think in real life Basford Hall is a lot busier than normal. So just rolling around at the 15 FPS mark. Oh, there's a 70 on the right. 70006. Oh, the frame rate's returned to normal. Cool. There's a 66 on the left being fueled. Two 86s on the right just stabled. I'm going to get a more reasonable frame rate of about 20 to 30. So on the left is the West Coast Main Line from Stafford to Crewe. So I think this ends when we get to here at signal 104. What do I have in a letter? So yeah, this will be a very long video. So I think I'm going to stop at this shunt signal. So it's fairly steep coming up this hill. I level into the reversing point, so put the brake on. And I'll see you next time.